Hey, welcome to Footy Fin. And wow, just wow. Sometimes sport, like life, throws up these amazing, unpredictable, unbelievable, unexpected results. And that's what we've seen overnight in Johannesburg, where the Wallabies, massive underdogs, came from 22-0 down to beat the Springboks at altitude in Johannesburg. Amazing. I'm still in a little bit of shock here. And yeah, look, it's speaking of dogs and underdog. It's not the dog in the fight; it's the fight in the dog. I love that saying, and maybe it applies here. Yeah, and look, commiserations to South African fans. We will come to that, and this is, I'm sure, only a momentary blip on the radar. But yeah, look, amazing result here. The Wallabies went into this game missing two of their best and feistiest forwards, Rob Valentini and Alan Alatoa. And indeed, they were down to their fourth choice fly half, where they brought in 35-year-old James O'Connor, who hadn't played a test for 3 years, probably hadn't played a full game of rugby for about 12 months since he played for Brisbane Club Brothers in the finals about a year ago. And then rookie Tane Edmed came onto the bench, as a late bench change. So just insane. And I'm going to mention the Beatles. And what the hell have the Beatles got to do with this, you might ask? Well, the last time the Wallabies won at Ellis Park in Johannesburg over the Springboks was in 1963. In 1963, the Beatles released their first album, I believe, and their second or third single. They were virtually almost unknown prior to that. So that puts things in context here as well. And they hadn't won at any venue in South Africa over the Boks for 11 years. And wins over there have been few and far between. Furthermore, they went down 22-0 after just 17, 18 minutes, where they, after the Boks scored three quick, impressive tries. The Wallabies got one back before halftime through Dylan Peach. So it was a 22-5 halftime scoreline. And there's a bit of familiarity here because hopefully the Wallabies have learnt from particularly the first two tests against the British and Irish Lions. They were down, I forget the halftime score in Test 1, but I think it might have been 3 tries to the Lions, and the Wallabies got one back through Max Jorgensen prior to halftime. And then, of course, the fateful 23-5 scoreline is what the Wallabies raced away to in the first half of the second test, before then sadly conceding some tries before halftime and later in the game. So they have learnt from that, and they've obviously learnt that you can turn things around even after a setback like that. So they then went on and scored 38 unanswered points throughout, the final 60 or so minutes of the game through 6 tries, which is quite insane. There evidently wasn't any or much of this fatigue at altitude, particularly in the closing stages of the game. Probably was. I should say, I didn't see this game live for 2 reasons, but the main reason is that here in Australia, this game is not shown on free-to-air. Away games for the Wallabies in the Rugby Championship are not shown on free-to-air in Australia. Only Bledisloe Cup games are. So that's a shocker, something Rugby Australia needs to address. And of course, it was kicking off about 1 a.m. But anyway, 6 tries, 2 to skipper Harry Wilson, who injured himself and his knee, scoring the second one. Intercept to Suali'i, this is in no particular order. 1 to Jorgensen, 1 to Wright, or Wright might have even got 2. Look, I'm sorry, I don't recall the specifics there. But so the Wallabies come away with a bonus point win. And on the flip side, the Boks at home in Joburg don't even bring a bonus point out of that game. They will be hurting and they will be back. Don't worry about that. yeah, look, maybe there was just some complacency there after going 22-0 up after 18 minutes. No doubt Coach Rassie Erasmus will be onto that and analysing things in great detail. This does have implications for world rankings points. So Australia is currently sitting sixth, and to stay in this top six is critical over the next few months, by which time the draw for the next Rugby World Cup will happen, and the top six teams get better placings in terms of pool positioning and seeding. So to beat the number one team at home does have big implications here in terms of world rankings. Look, it's an incredibly memorable night, I think, not only for Wallabies supporters, but, well, for the wrong reasons, for Box supporters, but I would think for most fans of world rugby. It's just great in any sport to see an underdog have a win once in a while. Anyway, and does this prove, coming on the back of the Lions series and the positive upswing that the Wallabies finished that series on in this month, is this month of August a turning point for the Wallabies? Will people look back on this in the coming years? And the Lions series and this win in Joburg as major turning points? Only time will tell. It does throw things open too for the Rugby Championship. It makes things very interesting. I mean, already the Box playing the All Blacks at Eden Park this year is going to be highly interesting for a number of reasons. 1 versus 2 in world rankings. The All Blacks haven't lost at Eden Park since 1994, etc. But it does throw the Rugby Championship wide open, and indeed, I'm not going to get ahead of myself, but it puts the Wallabies in a decent position to go on and feature strongly in this. But anyway, not wanting to gloat here, but really happy. Going to enjoy this for today, going to enjoy this feeling. It's been all too rare for Wallabies fans over many years now. However, the Springboks will be back. Rassie Erasmus and the Box will be back. They will be hurting. They will be out for revenge. They will come back stronger and hungrier than ever in Cape Town next week. So that sets things up for a mouth-watering prospect. But for now, go the Wallabies. Love this win. Memorable, unbelievable, unexpected, happy, glorious. Love it. Okay, I'm going to find a rolling mall to stick my head into. Until next time, catch ya. Enjoy the rugby. See ya.